Good morning, everyone. I am Yukta Gupta, your host for today. Our topic for today is Food Hygiene and Food Safety Series, Product Information and Consumer Awareness. Our speaker for today is Mr. Amrendra Mahamuni. He will be covering quick review and labeling on labeling and display regulations 2020. Satgunsang for food industry. Cleanliness and hygiene has been embedded into Indian culture since the Mohenjo-daro times. Cleanliness is equally important when it comes to preparation. Cooking, though a clumsy and multitasking-oriented process, needs to be carefully handled to ensure that the resulting product is palatable and contains no foreign material. Food safety and food hygiene are important as they ensure that the food you handle and produce is safe for consumption. Food safety is the foundation of trust in the food business. Entrepreneurs can establish a good reputation, build on food safety and quality, and derive profit. Small and medium-sized businesses very often do not realize that not applying food safety and quality improvement measures turn out to be more expensive than applying them. In this regard, while hindsight may be good, foresight is better. This means not leaving this important element to chance or ignoring it, but to actively and alertly plan, implement, and pursue food safety from the initial stage of food production inputs, processing, packaging, storing, and distribution. Our agenda for today's Satguru Meet is virtual inauguration by Dr. Sundar Kataria, invoking the blessings of deity, chanting of Gayatri Mantra, introduction of speaker by Ms. Yukta Gupta, presentation by Mr. Amrendra Mahamuni, introduction of panelists by Ms. Yukta Gupta, Mr. Amrendra Mahamuni, Mr. O.S. Jawar, Mr. Dilip Negi, and Dr. Sundar Kataria. Panel discussion followed by question and answer session. And lastly, we close the session. Satguru, conceived and led by Dr. Sundar Kataria, driven with a mission to elevate the quality, safety, and environmental awareness level of industry. Satguru is a series of educative, informative events aiming to illuminate professionals on possible solutions to current issues of industry and economy. Brief introduction of Dr. Sundar Kataria. He is Chairman and Managing Director at International Certification Services Private Limited. His academic qualification includes he is a mechanical engineer AMIE. He has also done honorary doctorate at business management. His experience includes he started his career in building India's first nuclear power plant at Rawat Bhata from Kota, Rajasthan. He contributed in developing India's first oil and gas field at Bombay High since inspection. He was head of industry and offshore development with DNV for 2 decades. He is founder of first Indian conformity assessment and inspection body known as International Certification Services Private Limited, which is provider of total quality solution under single umbrella with wide spectrum of services. His achievements and awards include he has received Lifetime Achievement Award of NACE Corcon and also several national and international awards. I request Dr. Sundar Kataria to virtually inaugurate this session.
Kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampadah Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampadah Shatrubuddhi vinashaya Deepajyotir namostute Deepajyotir namostute Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampadah Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampadah.
Please join us for the recitation of Gayatri Mantra. A brief introduction about our keynote speaker.
बस इतना बस
वॉइस ब्रेक हो रहा है.
A brief introduction about our keynote speaker. He is the director at Samarth Technologies. He has done his BTech in food and fermentation and also BSc in chemistry. His area of specialization and experience include lead auditor for ISO 22000-2018 and ISO 9001-2015. He is author and esteemed member of National Food Magazine Upyog Prerna since 1998. US FDA approved PCQI certified person. FSSAI for stack trainer and assessor for milk and milk product industry, manufacturing industry, basic catering and street food vending, and COVID-19 Indian regulatory body. He is also FSSAI for stack hygiene rating auditor. I welcome Mr. Amrendra Mahamuni to continue this session. Over to you, sir.
Okay, just allow me to share my presentation.
Yes.
Can you see my presentation? Hello?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, my voice is clear?
Yes.
Okay, so let us start. Good morning and warm welcome to all my friends. Okay, so already my introduction is completed, but I will just again repeat few things. Today's topic is labeling and display regulations 2020. It's a vast topic, but I will be just giving you an overview. So we'll try to complete within the stipulated time of 45 minutes. Otherwise, this topic is a huge topic and takes almost 45 minutes to, 8 hours to complete. Okay, so let us see how we complete. And this is my brief introduction already given. BSc Chemistry, BTech Food Technology, ICT Mumbai. I am a preventive control qualified individual, US FDA approved for human food. Joined FSSAI FOSTAC in May 2018 as a trainer assessor for various industries. Apart from that, I am FSSAI FOSTAC auditor for hygiene rating, Schedule 4, Eat Right and Bhog. I am a food industry consultant, turnkey projects, TUV, BBQI, ICS, BSI and TNV. Completed more than 300 training program behalf of FSSAI FOSTAC and also other activities. Okay, so let us start with the actual overview of labeling and display regulations 2020. There are packaging and display regulations also, labeling and display regulations also, and apart from that, even advertising and claim also. So we'll be covering today only labeling and display regulations. So these are the few points we have to cover today. General few important definitions. There are 22 definitions, but we'll be covering only few. Then labeling of the packaged food, that is mandatory requirements, display of information, then labeling requirements of non-retail, then labeling of additives, Schedule 1, Schedule 2, and the specific requirements. Okay, so these are the few important definitions. As I told you, there are 22 definitions, but I will be covering only important definitions. So best before means the date which signifies the end of the period for any food product. Okay, so if the best before date is 15th of January, okay, so the product remains fully marketable and it retains all its specific qualities during that particular time only. But after that also product can be consumed because it is not an expiry date. So you can consume the product. Only thing is their physical properties might have changed. That is color, flavor, texture, taste might have changed. Okay, so that is what the best before date is. Manufacturing date means the date on which the food product becomes a product. Okay, so whenever a food product becomes a product, final product, intended product, you can say. So it is called as in which the product becomes the product. It is that date of manufacture. Then date of package, it is called as date of packaging. Labeling is any written, printed or graphic matter that is present on the label. It is called as labeling. Okay. Non-vegetarian food. So this is again most important definition. So what is non-vegetarian food? So non-vegetarian food means the food which contains either whole or any part of the animal origin, that is bird, insects, marine animals, that is freshwater animals, marine animals, or egg and egg products. Okay, but it does not include milk and milk product, honey, then beef access, carbula, and shellac. Okay. Now, recommended dietary allowance is the new terminology now introduced in labeling and display regulations 2020. Earlier, for nutrition labeling, RDA was not there, but now in a new regulation, yes, definitely RDA was there. So it is average daily dietary nutrient intake level. Okay, so it should meet at least 98% of the daily dietary nutrient level. So it is called as recommended dietary allowance for an healthy individual. Okay. Use by date, expiry dates is one and the same. After that date, actually, the product is not fit for consumption. The product is already expired. And if at all, if someone try to consume that product, then there is possibility of severe food poisoning. So after use by date or after expiry date, product is completely a dead one. Vegetarian food means any article of the food which is other than non-vegetarian. So non-vegetarian we already seen. So other than the remains is vegetarian food only. Now we will see the mandatory labeling requirements on a package. Okay, so name of the food should be written on the front side of the pack. So each and every food pack has either front side or back side and back side. So you have to write the food on the front side of the pack along with the name and address of the manufacturer or packer or bottler or repacker, whatever. Then brand name, trade name is also most important. So as per the guidelines given by Food Safety and Standards, advertising and claim regulation. Because brand name, trade name is directly proportional to the advertising and claim. So according to that guidelines, you have to write your brand name and trade name. Then the list of ingredients is also most important thing. If this product is single, okay, so in that case, there is no need to write the ingredient name because it's a single product, but the product has more than one ingredient. But in that case, you have to write the list of ingredients and it should be in a descending order. So all the major ingredients should be written at the first and then minor ingredients and then micro ingredients. Okay. Now, as per new law, water is also considered as one of the ingredients. So you have to write water as an ingredient, but except the food has a very high amount of water, that is brine or syrup. So in that case, water cannot be written as a ingredient. Then the drain weight of the food product is most important, especially pickle with oil or rasgulla or gulab jamun. So rasgulla and gulab jamun is always served with the sugar syrup. So in that case, the drain weight, that is solid weight, is most important, and that has to be mentioned on a pack. Nutrition information per 100 gram or per 100 ml was the earlier requirement of 2011 regulations, but now in new regulation, so this nutrition information per 100 gram or 100 ml is there along with per serving size also. So you have to print a labeling requirement nutritional information of 100 gram, then per size also, and along with you have to write the contribution of the RDA in percent.
Hello, Amrendra sir, are you there?
I think we lost his connectivity. Just check with him.
Yes, we are getting him back, sir.
He's back.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what happened. There was
No,
some
no.
minor connection issues.
No
Okay.
problem.
Okay, I hope I'm at the point number 5, nutritional information. Yes,
Right,
or I
right,
have
right.
completed this point number 5.
Yeah, right, sir. You are on point number 5 only.
Okay, so nutrition information per 100 gram or 100 ml is most important, and along with the nutrition information, you have to write the per serving nutrition information also, along with the recommended dietary allowance per serve. That is what is the contribution. Okay, so there is some basic information is given for the calculation of nutrition information. So 2000 kilocalories of the energy is required by human being in a day. That is the base, along with 67 grams of the fat, 22 grams saturated fat, 2 grams trans fat, and 50 gram added sugar, along with 5 grams of salt or 2000 milligrams of sodium. Okay, so that is the daily requirement which is required for an adult. And on the basis of that, you have to calculate the energy in kilocalories, then protein, carbohydrate, total sugar, added sugar. So total sugar is the natural sugar which is naturally present in the food, and added sugar is the which is addition externally, that is sucrose. Okay, so along with the total fat, saturated fat, trans fat, the other naturally occurring fat, that is cholesterol also, sodium also. Okay, so that also you have to write on a packet. Okay, next. Okay. So whenever a saturated fat and trans fat you have to write, then the content should be more than 0.5%. Then only you can write. If the content of the saturated fat or trans fat is less than 0.5%, there is no need to declare on a label, along with the cholesterol also. So if it is more than 0.5%, then only you have to declare. Serving size is also given. It is important to understand what is the serving size. That's why I'm just covering that. So serve size or serving size means amount of food customarily consumed per eating occasion. Okay, even if the package is 100 gram, 200 gram, 300 gram or 500 gram, but you cannot consume 500 gram at a time. So whenever you consume 20 gram, 30 gram, 40 gram or 50 gram, so that per eating occasion, that is called as serving size, and that also has to be written in either ml or gram as a metric unit. Okay, so there are also other terminologies like in catering industry, it is called as teaspoon, tablespoon, or 1 cup of water, or 1 cup of 1 glass of milk. So what that measure is? So it is a teaspoon is 5 gram, tablespoon a spoon is 15 gram, or if you say in a cup, so either it is water or any other liquid is called as it's considered as 130 ml. Okay. Then the food which is claimed to be enriched with the nutrients like minerals, proteins, vitamins, amino acids. So that has to be also included on a label because that is also a part of requirement. Okay. Just a minute. Aditya? Okay. So food which is exempted from the nutritional labeling, you can say. So raw agriculture commodities like wheat, rice, spices, herbs, condiments, then processed food like papad and pickle. So they are exempted, even if the food which is directly served in the hospitals and hotels and vendors, that is also required, that is exempted from the mandatory nutritional labeling. Okay, so whenever you consider water is for human consumption. So that should not be written any nutrition labeling unless minerals are added or some other ingredients are added in the water. Otherwise, for normal plain water, drinking water, nutritional labeling is not required. Herbs, spices, their mixes, curry powder, they are exempted. Salt and salt substitutes exempted. To tabletop sweeteners exempted. The coffee extract, tea extract, then decaffeinated tea, instant or soluble tea, all they are exempted from the nutritional labeling. Vinegar, any type of vinegar that is substitute vinegar or normal vinegar, that's also exempted. Flavoring food additives, enzymes, gelatin that is also exempted. Chewing gum is exempted. Alcoholic beverages are exempted. Even food for special dietary use, then food for special medical purpose, then functional food, novel foods, they are also exempted from the nutritional labeling. Okay. Now, nutritional calculation, as I told you, for there is some base is taken for nutritional calculation. So carbohydrate 4 kilocalories per gram, polyols 2 kilocalories per gram, then protein 4 kilocalories per gram, fat 9 kilocalories per gram, alcohol 7 kilocalories per gram, and so on. So these are the values which are taken to calculate the amount nutritional analysis for energy calculation actually. So these are the various standard figures are considered for the calculation. If you calculate protein, then there is a Gelda's estimation method for the protein is there. So in that case, you have to write the value which is got through the Gelda's estimation, and multiplication factor is 6.25. Okay, and for only milk, it is 6.38. So these are the various factors which are used for the calculation. Okay. The food with following information, that is veg and non-veg. So veg declaration and non-veg declaration with the symbol is most important. So green colored circle, filled circle with green square that indicates the vegetarian food. Earlier brown color, earlier for non-vegetarian food, it was a red filled circle along with the red square, but now it is converted to the brown color. The simple reason for that was just to make it easy for colorblind people. So now it is a triangle. Okay, so if the nutrition information is given in the barcode, then there is no need to write on packets also, or global trade identification number. So it is no need to write on a packet. Next. Okay, I'm just going a bit fast because it's a very vast topic, and I have to cover within stipulated time of 45 minutes. Okay. So food pack shall have following information, that is the declaration of the additives also. So you cannot skip additives or preservatives or flavors or colors from declaring on a food pack. Okay. So in that case, international numbering system is the most important. So whenever there is any list of ingredients, so in that case, you have to write the name of the additives either in flavor or preservatives. Into bracket, you have to write the international numbering system. That is INS number is given, either it is 250, 125, 300, whatever. That number is mandatory to write. Okay, as per the regulations. Then declaration of manufacturing date, then marketed by, then both, if the manufacturer himself markets the food, then manufactured by and marketed by. If the manufacturer is different, but he sends the product for the packing, then packed and marketed by. For the liquid food like beverages, alcoholic beverages, then bottled by or blended by, and blended and bottled by. Then there are few items which are imported. So imported and bottled by, distilled and bottled by. So all these terminologies are already given in the law that you have to specifically mention on the label. Okay, so this is the mandatory declaration. Okay, so whenever you import from other countries to India, so in that case, then you have to write the importer's name and address also along with the FSSAI logo and the license number. So that is also mandatory. So and for other Indian food products also, FSSAI logo is mandatory. It is shown in the slide how the logo should be, and along with you have to write the license number also. So it is a 14-digit license number is already allotted to a food business operator, whether it's a small or large one. So FSSAI logo along with the license number, it is mandatory. That is most important because it indicates that the business is a valid business. That person is having business with the license, so he is authorized to run the business. So that is the reason why FSSAI logo and license number is mandatory. Next. Okay. So whenever there is any fortification is done, so in that case, fortified food and organic food logo, that is has to be printed on a label. I will show you the logo, how the logo looks like, fortified logo, and organic logo, that is Jaivik Bharat logo, in the coming slides. Okay. So net quantity, either it is in ml or it is in grams or it is in kgs, that also you have to write, along with the maximum retail price. So maximum retail price including all taxes. So that has to be written on the packet, because you are not supposed to take the taxes extra. Along with, there is also one declaration for the products which are just like curd or for milk. So chilling charges are included. So if anybody asks you the separate chilling charges, because there is a practice in the market, whenever you buy any cold drink, so they charge the chilling charges extra. So it is not the case now. So everything is included. So whatever you have to pay is the MRP only, not a single penny extra apart from that money. Then lot number, code number, batch identification is also most important for the traceability if something goes wrong. So in that case, the product has to be recalled. It is called as product recall. And for that purpose, this lot number, code number, batch number is the most important factor. Manufacturing date, expiry date is most important. Nowadays, the law has changed. Earlier, it was use by date, base before date, and expiry date. So use by date, when the product is having less than 7 days shelf life, it was called as use by date. And more than 7 days, then you have to write base before. And this new labeling and display regulations to 2020 says up to if the shelf life of any product is up to 3 months, okay, or less than 3 months, then you have to declare use by date as a in the format DDMMYY, that is date, month, and year, and the month should be in a capital letter. Okay, so at least first 3 letters are used to declare the month. If the shelf life of any product is more than 3 months, okay, so you have to write only in the format month and year. In that, month should be written in a capital letter. Okay, so this is the new requirement, change requirement. Then all this manufacturing date, packing date, expiry date, use by date, it has to be grouped together. You cannot write manufacturing date at one place on a label and packing date on other place and expiry date or use by date at other place. So it has to be grouped together and written on the one particular area, so that customer can easily recognize and he can read it in a proper manner. So date and time of the manufacturer is important for the packed food or packed meals which are served in airlines, railways. Okay. So this is again most important factor. This is for catering establishment. Next. Okay. Storage conditions again plays important role, because it is mandatory for all the manufacturers to display the storage conditions. If the milk is there, then less than 5 degree, less than 4 degree storage temperature. If the curd is there, then there are different conditions. If the cheese is there, then there are different conditions. If the butter is there, there are different conditions. If the ice cream is there, then it should be stored at -18 degree temperature. Or you can write store at cool and clean and cool temperature. Okay. So all these storage conditions are important. So whenever you claim any shelf life or any date, so it is against, that is with respect to the storage conditions. If the storage conditions are not properly fulfilled, so you have to mention properly. Otherwise, this shelf life will not be achieved if the storage conditions are not properly mentioned. Okay, for oil, actually, it should be kept away from the direct sunlight. Okay, so if you keep it in a proper place, then you will get the 6-month or 8-month or 12-month shelf life, desired or intended shelf life for any product. Okay, so this again, expiry is not required for the fresh fruits and vegetable. As you go in a mandi or any food stall, so they don't write any expiry date. Wine doesn't have expiry date. Alcoholic beverages with more than 10% of the alcohol content, they're exempted from writing the expiry date. Vinegar, then sugar boiled confectionery or candies, they are exempted. Salt for industrial use is exempted. Then sugar is exempted. Chewing gum, bubble gum is also exempted from giving the shelf life of the food. Next. Mobile answer. Next, country of the origin. So there are many BOs, that is food business operators in India. They are exporting food items from the countries other than India. So in that case, you have to declare it is imported product, and you have to write the importer's name, address, and logo also. Sometimes what happens, the product is imported from the Germany. Okay, the product is processed. I'm just giving the example. The product is processed and packed in Germany and comes to the India. But many times what happens, all the ingredients which are not manufactured in Germany, sometimes few ingredients are imported from other countries also. So in that case, how to write the importer or country of the origin? So in that case, there is a HS code is given. It is called as harmonized system of the nomenclature. So that code has to be written, that is used for import and export purpose. So that code you have to write on the label. So where exactly product is made and packed. So that code has to be written on a packet. Instruction for use is also again important. If the product is dehydrated product, like tomato powder or palak powder, or maybe you can have the raisins also, which are dehydrated grapes, or milk powder. So whenever you want to go for any reconstitution purpose, so in that case also you have to write for 10 grams of milk powder, add 50 ml of water, so you will get so much of the milk. So all this instruction for use also you have to write. If it is ready to use, ready to eat products like curry, fish curry, or you can say palak paneer. So how to use that? Because these products are already prepared 1 month, 2 months back. So we have to write the instruction, keep it in a boiling water for 10 minutes and then serve. So likewise, instruction of use, or if you have any gulab jam premix, so you have to write the instruction for sugar syrup making. You have to write instruction from how the dough is made, what is the process of dough making, how much water is added, how much oil is added, then what is the size of the gulab jam piece. So all these things that you have to write, and this is for the customer purpose only. Then you have to write, for example, if you see any coffee or tea powder, then it is written, once it is opened, then transfer the content into the airtight container. Okay, so that instruction also you have to write, because that is the education you are giving to the end user or customer. Okay, next. Declaration regarding food allergen. This is again most important. Actually, allergy was included in the food safety by FSSAI in 2018. Earlier, allergy was not considered as a threat to India, but WHO has given the report saying that all the millennium babies, those who are born in year 2000 or apart from 2000, then in that case, they are considered as allergic people or allergic babies. So allergen declaration is most important in India because so many foods are allergen. There are 14 foods or 5 groups of foods which are considered as allergen. So protein is the main allergic component of the food. So you have to declare on a label that it contains allergen. If the product is having a single ingredient which is allergic, then you have to write contains allergen. If the product contains more than one allergen, okay, so sometimes you add peanuts also, sometimes you add almond also, sometimes you add milk powder also. So there are the 3 different sources of the allergen. So you have to write it contains peanut also, it contains almond also, it contains milk products also. So that at least customer will come to know there are the 3 different sources of allergens coming into the final product. So he will be careful while eating that product if he's having some allergy in him. Okay, so allergen declaration is most important. If the raw agricultural commodities are exempted from the allergen declaration, but if you have any oil seeds and if you extract oil from the seeds, in that case, you cannot write allergen declaration on the oil. So it is exempted. Okay, next. This is again a new addition and most important because many times the oil which is used for consumption also, the same oil can be used for puja purpose or diya purpose. Same way, the water which is used for consumption, the water can be used for puja purpose. So in that case, there should not be any issues in the market or health of the consumer. So what the FSS had done, they have given the specific declaration, and logo is also displayed. So if the oil or water or ghee is used for puja purpose only, that is not for consumption, then the symbol which is shown on the slide, it has to be printed on a label. So it is a black cross covered with the black square. So it has to be printed on a label, so that customer will understand that this oil or this water is not for consumption purpose, but it is only for diya purpose. Next. Okay, so these are the different guidelines which are given for the size of the label. Okay, so I won't go into the detail because the font size and everything which is already given in a law, you can read it as per the size, font size, and as per the size of the label, the norms changes. Okay, so I will just skip this and I will go to the shelf life. That is point number 4. If the shelf life is not more than 7 days, the date of manufacture is not required. For example, bread or milk. If the shelf life is not more than 7 days, so you have to write only use by date or expiry date, but you cannot write the manufacturing date for the products who are having shelf life not more than 7 days. Next. Okay, so these are also guidelines, exemption from certain labeling requirements, because there are certain food which are consumed in a hotel or dhabas or vendors or caterers or halwais or even hospitals or religious places. Okay, even the food is also served in airline, railways. Okay, or mobile vehicles nowadays, pick and bite type vehicles are started in Maharashtra also, all over India rather. So what is the different regulations? So information related to the allergen and logo of the veg and non-veg. So there is no need to write because the product is made and sold and consumed immediately. Okay. If the information is mentioned in a barcode, or nowadays people are having barcode, although it is not mandatory in India, it is mandatory for export, but still the barcode system is now becoming more popular in India. So in that case, you can inculcate all the information related to the label in the barcode. So in that case, you are not supposed to write on a label. You can just scan the barcode and you will get all the information related to the product, legal information related to the product in that particular barcode. If the assorted packs are there, so if you're having 3-4 varieties of the chocolates, okay, so all the 4 varieties may be having different shelf life. So how to write the shelf life on the final pack? So in that case, what law says, if within the 4 varieties, for example, if one variety is having 3 days shelf life, one variety is having 5 days, one variety is having 6 days, and one variety is having 10 days. So you have to write the shelf life of the variety which is having the minimum shelf life. So you have to write the shelf life as used by dash date, that is 3 days shelf life. So the product which is having the minimum shelf life or low shelf life, you have to declare that shelf life on the final package only. This is for the assorted packs of the food items. Next. Okay, so for catering industry also there are different norms they are given. If you are having catering industry with the central license and outlets more than 10 outlets, so in that case you have to write the calorie value. Okay, either you have to write calorie value in a menu card, or you have to just display the item calorie value on a table, so that customer will understand what type of calories they are eating through this particular food. And again, the base I told you in the first slide itself. So average daily requirement of the calories for normal human being is 2000 kilocalories. So based on that, how much calorie they are getting for that particular food, that customer should know. And accordingly, if the person is on diet or person requires a minimum shelf life, so in that case, you have to the customer at least will understand how much calorie intake he is having. Okay, next. Okay, so continue for this catering establishments. So there are few caterers in India. They are not working for 365 days. So they may work for less than 60 days or so. So they, in a continuous manner, they will work for 60 days, or maybe intermittently they will work less than 60 days. So in that case, also this information they are not supposed to declare because they are not a big food business operators. They are very small business operators. Apart from that, there are some self-serve condiments. Okay, so chutneys or sauces and salt and sugar and garlic and onion. These are called as self-serve condiments. Okay, so they are not listed on a menu card, but they are served as a free of cost. So in that case, you are not supposed to write any declaration. Okay, there are few customers who can order some different type of meal, combination of meal or modified meal as per their request. So in that case, also this declaration is exempted. But in all, whenever you write any calorie declaration, so in that case, 25% tolerance is given for a calorie. If you calculate the calorie and if you go to the external laboratory and calculate the calorie value, so in that case, 25% variation is allowed, but not more than 25%, because it is difficult for hotel industry to give the food for analysis each and every day. So in that case, they can calculate. So I have given you the method of calculation based on protein, fat, minerals, vitamins. Okay, so you can calculate of your own, and 25% tolerance is already accepted. So e-commerce business operators also, they should give this information on their website. Okay, name of the product and this calorie information on the website or nutrition information on the website, so that whenever customer visit a website and orders anything, he can understand what type of nutritional intake he is getting, or what type of calorie he is getting through that particular food. Okay, in a hotel industry, dhaba or wherever eating joints or food joints, they have to write some health related messages. Okay, so what are these health related messages? Like, for example, I will tell you, sugar is a sweet poison. Okay, salt is consume as low salt as possible, or consume low oil as possible. Okay, or prevent reuse of cooking oil. So all this type of healthy messages you have to either display or display on a wall or display on a table, serving table, so that customer will at least read this and they will try to implement in their eating habits. Next. Okay, now the labeling requirements for the non-retailers. Okay, so we have seen the retailers. Now there are non-retailers also. So the same labeling requirements are there actually: name of the food, net quantity, FSSAI logo, license number, manufacturing date, expiry date, lot number, name and address, customer care number, list of ingredients, declaration of non-veg logo, then the nutritional information. So all this is again mandatory for non-retail container. Next, but the most important declaration for them is this product is not for retail sale. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so this product is not for retail sale, so you have to write not for retail sale. Okay, so if you, so nowadays there are so many products are available which are for wholesale packs only. For example, you can have a Parle biscuit with 1 kg pack, or Britannia biscuit with 1 kg pack. So you will find 200-gram packets, 5 packets in a single 1 kg pack. So all the information you have to write on the outer packet, and for inside you have to write it is not for retail sale. So all the shopkeepers or retailer, they cannot open the pack and sell as a retail sale. It is for wholesale only. So that is the reason why not for retail sale is there. Otherwise, all the information as per the law, it is written on the outer pack only. Next. Now labeling for the additives also. Actually, we are not selling any additives, but if there is any food business operator who sells additives into the market, like color or flavor or any preservatives like sodium benzoate. Sodium benzoate is common use. Sorbic acid is there. Acetic acid, that is vinegar, is used. There are also few laws and regulations laid down as per the labeling and display regulations 2020. So you have to write the specific name of the additives along with the INS number. Okay. Then okay, so all that information is there given, and you have to write. The most important point is point number 3. You have to write it is used only in the food or food grade. So many additives are there which are chemical grade also, and which are food grade also. So important thing is you have to write all these additives are food grade only. Okay, and list of the additives you have to write in a descending order, because there are a few formulations or few combinations where 2 or more additives are added together and one combination is made. So in that case also you have to write the list of additives in a descending order. This is again most important. Same thing is for flavors also. It should be free from alcohol. That mandatory declaration has to be written on the label, along with the natural or nature identical. Also you have to write. There are few colors which are synthetic colors, few colors which are natural colors also. So that also you have to write for the benefit of the consumer. Okay. So many natural colors are available. So colors are made from beetroot, colors are made from turmeric also, aniline dyes also. So all these are natural colors. You have to write these are the natural colors, and if it is synthetic, you have to write the synthetic color. If the synthetic color is written, then it comes into the framework of the law, because law is applicable. How much color is added into the food? It is already given in the Food Safety Standards Act 2006 and regulations 2011. Maybe 50 ppm, 100 ppm, 200 ppm, 300 ppm. So all this information for colors and additives, it's already mentioned in the law. Next, please. These are the few different logos which are released by the FSSAI recently. So plus F indicates it's the fortification. Okay. If you want to fortify any food, okay. So for that packet, you have to write, you have to display this fortification logo, and you have to write fortified with either mineral or you can write protein or vitamin or whatever that fortification. You have to write the name, and below that you have to write Sampurna Poshan Swastha Jivan. So that is also a mandatory requirement. Okay, and you have to write the name of the that fortifying agent, whether it is protein or mineral or vitamin or whatever, that you have to write. And there are few foods which are allowed. That is, wheat flour is allowed for fortification. Cooking oil is allowed. Salt is there. Bread is there. Even milk is also allowed. Vitamin D you can add in the milk. So bread, vitamin A you can add. Salt, as you know, iodine is already there. Apart from that, now iron salt is also available. That also you can see into the market. Cooking oil, all the fat soluble vitamins, so you can add as a fortification to the edible oil, and you can sell it to the customer. So this is the new label, or you can say new logo, which is released by the FSSAI. Next. This is the Jaivik Bharat logo for organic food. Okay. So whenever you claim the food product is organic, it is mandatory that you have to print this Jaivik Bharat logo on that organic food. Okay. So organic in the sense it is free from chemical fertilizers or pesticide residues. It is called as organic food. Next. This is also new logo recently released, that is vegan logo. Vegan means it is not from the non-vegetarian source. Okay, so it is not from the milk source as well. So it is a plant-based. When you say a vegan food, it is called as a plant-based food. So this is the typical logo which is released. V, green colored V with the outer green square, and along with the plant. So you can see the green color leaf depicts that it is from a plant-based only. V is called as vegan. So I think Ritesh Deshmukh has started his own organization which produces these vegan products. So he got a tremendous success in producing vegan kebab, vegan sausages, or vegan chicken also, and that is easily available in the market. So that also you can check and confirm. And he is getting a good response from the customers also. Next. There are few now there are schedules, schedule 1 and schedule 2. So you can have some schedules also. Whenever you add caffeine, so you have to write contains caffeine and you have to declare in a ppm. If you add any polyols, more than 10% polyols, since polyols are laxative, so you have to write it has laxative effect. This third point is most important. Maida, there are two types of maida available in the market. So one maida is for domestic purpose, that is for our home use, and another is maida for specifically for the bakery use. So whenever the maida is used for bakery purpose, then it is treated with the improvers, flour improvers or bleaching agents. So that maida, it has to be sold specifically to the bakeries and not for the domestic purpose. So that declaration has to be given. So dried glucose syrup, you have to write dried glucose syrup used only in the confectionery. Okay, you cannot use the dried glucose syrup for any other product. If the cheese is coated with the wax, then you have to write it is a wax coated cheese, and you have to remove the wax before consumption. Even fresh fruits are also available with the wax coating. So that also you have to write coated with the wax, so that customer will be aware and he will remove the wax before the consumption. If the gelatin is used for human consumption, you have to write the gelatin food. Even for pan masala or something, chewing of the tobacco is injurious to the health. So all these thing you have to declare on a label as a part of awareness to the consumer, so that those who are safe people, they cannot consume this. Those who want to consume, they can consume under this stated condition. Even on cigar also, you can see cigarette packets. Earlier, chewing tobacco or consumption of tobacco is bad for health, but nowadays they have just there is a picture of the mouth with the cancer. Okay, so that at least gives you the indication that this product is not for health conscious people. It's not for consumption. It gives you a bad effect. Okay, next. Again, continuation with the schedule 2 of this act. So vegetable oil, there are two types of oil available: a single oil and a blended oil. Okay. So whenever there's a single oil, you have to write it is either groundnut oil or sunflower oil or safflower oil. Whenever there is a blending of oil or blending of vegetable fat, then you have to write the separate name. So either it is a mixture of these oils or mixture of these fats also. So that is for consumption. If the water bottle is used one time, used for filling of the water, then on bottle you have to write crush bottle after use. But that is only for one time use plastic, or dispose the bottle responsibly. So you cannot just dispose it haphazardly in the nature, otherwise it will have some environmental issues also. If you are adding any fiber into the food, so that also you have to declare it contains dietary fiber, and you have to write the source of the dietary fiber also. Another most important point is food irradiation. Nowadays, the food irradiation is becoming more and more popular in India. Earlier, it was having many myths whether to use this irradiated food or not. But now the people are more aware. A lot of awareness has created among the consumers, and people are now slowly moving towards the purchasing of the irradiated food. This is again a very good technology which is used. It is the intentional exposure of food to the ionizing rays, you can say, that's called as irradiation. So gamma rays are used, and this method is very popular as far as onion is there, garlic is there for sprout inhibition. If you want to export this product, then the irradiated products will not sprout for particular time period. Even it is good for spices also, because spices having a lot of dust and dirt on the surfaces because of the its nature, and they may get contaminated. So, and you cannot wash all the spices. So in that case, irradiation plays important role. So in all, there are 15 plants available in India. In Maharashtra, we will have a Krushak plant is in Nashik, Lasalgaon, one more in Vashi, one more is in Ambernath also, one is in, I think, Kolkata, one is in Gujarat. So many plants are there in India, and along with the BARC also you can set up the plants in India. Next. Okay. So for oil also, there are so many industries, they are haphazardly declaring exaggerated things on a tin. So you cannot write super refined, extra refined, macro refined, double refined. So it is no more recommended. So you have to stop using these exaggerated expressions. Okay. If the vanaspati is containing more than contains the rice bran oil, which is more than 30%, that also you have to declare. If this packet of vanaspati contains rice bran, which is more than 30%. Okay. So this multi-source edible oil, as I already explained to you. So it's a blended oil or combination of more than 1 or 2 oils. That is also possible, but you have to write the name and the nature of the edible oil by percent. If the 1 kg oil contains sunflower also, oil and safflower oil, so how much is the sunflower oil, how much is the safflower oil, that you have to declare by percent, by weight on a tin or on a can. Next. Coffee chicory mix. Actually, chicory is recommended adulterant in a coffee, in an instant coffee only, brew. It is recommended in the brew. So in that case, you have to write how much is the coffee percent and how much is the chicory percent. Okay. For milk and milk products, if the milk powder is manufactured, skim milk powder is manufactured, condensed milk is manufactured, and if it is sold in the market, so that product may be utilized for infants also. So we don't know we don't know, already we have declared the intended use on the label, but we don't know in what condition this product is used by the customer. So it is better you declare on a label that it is not used for infants below 6 months, not used for infant below 6 months, because mother's milk is good for health. That is also one more declaration which is mandatory for the infant formula. Okay, next. If now, what about the drinking water packages? Okay, so you cannot have medicinal claims like it prevents some diseases or cures some diseases. So you cannot write because there are so many. There is a gray market, and I have seen so many companies, they are declaring like anything. Okay, so 400% extra oxygen, then product from Himalaya, product from Ganga, it contains Ganga Jal. So all these 1, 2, 3 points, they have to be very careful. Okay, so you cannot write it contains Ganga Jal or product from Himalaya or product from any other place. Okay, so no health claim, no anything haphazard declaration on a product. Then gluten-free products is also most important nowadays. It's a trend in the market that all the products should be of gluten-free. So there are few gluten-free products are available in the market, and you have to specifically write this product is gluten-free. But the problem is in any food industry, there are 2, 3 lines, product lines are available. On one product line, the gluten-free products are made, and other 2 lines with the gluten. If the product is made in such a composite plant, then you have to be very careful. And as a BO, you have to declare on a label, this product is processed in a plant where gluten-containing products are manufactured. So the reason for declaration of this is that there is a possibility of cross-contamination and it may cause allergen. Okay, because gluten is a protein and which is an allergen. So it may cause allergen. So at least customer will be aware, he will be, he knows this product may contain allergenic substance. So you have to be very careful while consumption of the product. Next. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope I have completed presentation in a stipulated time. So if you have any queries, we can try to answer, because this is a very vast topic, and this labeling and display regulations are new one. But still the time is there, because 31st of July is the time now allotted for this changeover activity. And display is already mandatory from 1st of January. So if you have any doubt, we can discuss in a panel. I tried to cover all the points because of the time constraint. I have not gone into much details. Well, let us see now.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Yukta, please.
Thank you so much, sir, for your simplified presentation. We now continue with a panel discussion. Due to some inconvenience, Dr. Kataria won't be able to join a panel discussion. So our panelists for the day are Mr. Amrendra Mahamuni, Mr. O.S. Jawar, and Mr. Dilip Negi. A brief introduction about Mr. O.S. Jawar. He is a senior consultant. His academic qualification include BSc Engineering. His area of specialization is he is a lead auditor for ISO 9001, ISO 14001, ISO 45000, ISO 22163, and ISO 22000. He is consultant for food safety, automotive, railways, engineering, plastic, etc. He has more than 61 years of experience in this field. We welcome Mr. O.S. Jawar, sir. Our next panelist is Mr. Dilip Negi. His designation and organization, he is a Vice President in and Strategy and Planning in International Certification Services Private Limited. His academic qualification includes, he is BA in Economics and also done Diploma in Computer Application and Management. His area of specialization include, he has 34 years of experience, accounts and finance, administration, HR, business strategy, and planning. We welcome Mr. Dilip Negi, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Yukta. And well, once again, welcome to all panelists. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Especially special thanks to Mr. Mahamuni for his awesome presentation and enlightening us about the product information and consumer awareness. I would say, sir, your presentation was Sampurna presentation for first
Thank you, sir.
Yes, really, I would like to say. You covered each and everything.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. It's a very vast topic, and covering it in the 45 minutes, 1 hour is a very difficult task, but you did it. Okay, there is a famous saying, a healthy body possesses and a healthy mind. Needless to say, healthy body comes from the healthy food. And even our mythology says, no creature can escape the 4 basic needs. The first is the food, ahar, nindra, bhay, or maithun. Ahar stands for the food, nindra stands for the sleep, bhay stands for the fear, and maithun stands for the mating. So these are the basic needs of any creature on this planet. Obviously, food is the first topmost priority. So that's why food becomes so crucial. Let me start our panel discussion with the lighter note. A street dog eats food on a street. We also eat the street food on a street. What is the difference? You may say the difference may be that he's the bare minimum. He has his awareness about the food safety is bare minimum, and ours is the very high. My dear friends, we are wrong. To increase our awareness, let's go straight to our experts, food experts. And today we have Mr. O.S. Jawar, who is a very senior, experienced food expert and consultant in this sector. I welcome you, sir. And I request you to just give first 5 minutes of your brief input on what we have today's presentation on the product information, consumer awareness. And after that, your 5 minutes brief input, we will start the question answer. Over to you, Mr. Jawar.
Sir, you are muted.
Sir, unmute
You're-
yourself.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Thank you very much for covering this vast subject in such a short time. Really, it is indeed very nice of you. My first observation is that government enact the laws for food safety and protection of the consumer, health of the consumer. Now, this law, which has been enacted, will it help in prevention of the food fraud? Can I get some your observations or your views on this subject?
Okay, so this is a question to me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So definitely this new law will help to reduce the food fraud, or you can say bioterrorism also. Many things are happening in India since so many years. And actually these people are helping government to upgrade themselves and making more and more stringent laws. See, there is a big difference between adulteration and contamination. Adulteration is intentional addition, okay, and the motive behind is to earn the profit. But if you say the food fraud, okay, so food fraud is the intention behind is the ideological, so to kill the people. So there is a big problems in India actually. I have seen people adultering what we call the chicken with the dog meat, or mutton with any other dead animal which is found on the roadside. So there are agencies, they collect the dead animals and then mix it. Okay, so our body is not actually designed for the non-vegetarian food. And if you have so many types of meat together or muttons together, then there is a lot many health issues also. Then I found these things are more common in meat industry because of veterinary drugs and all this lot of stuff is actually pumped into the animal body just to grow them or just to get the more output. So that is not good for health. It causes cancer also. Then street food, coming to the street food, you will find Ajinomoto actually. Ajinomoto is added in extra large quantity in food item, and actually people are eating this street food or Chinese food like anything. Okay, and it also causes cancer. Then addition of bad oil into the good oil. So that is also there. Melamine is also found in the milk, which is also not good for health. So these are various cases of the food fraud, and these are increasing day by day. Okay, so maybe the intention is to earn money also, and intention is to kill the people also. I will give briefly, I will just give an example which has happened 4 years back in Maharashtra, in Nagpur, I think, in 2015. It was a drought period. It was a very high drought period in Maharashtra. And the one big person or sarpanch from that village was having his own well. Okay, and so whenever the drought comes, actually the well is taken over by the government for the supply of water to all the villagers. But that bugger has actually added potassium cyanide into the well, and so many people died. It was a big issue that time. So it is a clear case of food fraud actually. Okay, same thing happened. I have experienced one when I was working in a bakery actually. So I also observed this one thing. When I was working in a night shift, I was manufacturing the bread, and suddenly 2-3 batches of the bread has failed. And I was a junior at time. I'm talking about 97, 98 case. Okay, so after that, when I started analyzing each and every ingredient, as I told you in the first 5 minutes, water is also considered as one of the ingredients. That time, water was not one of the ingredient considered. When I analyzed water, I found soap solution in the water. So almost 2000 liter water, some worker has added the soap solution, and it was a big issue into the bakery. So these cases are there in India. To stop these cases, you have to make a stringent law. You have to make people aware. Okay, so these things are happening, and you have to be very careful. And that is the reason why I think this FSSC standard has born. That is the VASAP and TASAP, vulnerability assessment and threat assessment. And now food industry is also well aware of all these threats. in big societies in Maharashtra. I'm from Maharashtra, so I'm giving the example of Maharashtra. So there are lakhs of liter water storage tanks are there underground, which are not in a lock and key condition. Okay, even in dairy industry also, silos are outside the dairy, which are not under lock and key. So there is possibility of something happening. Okay, so how to stop this? Unless and until these people are not aware, employees are not available, owner is not aware of this, or consumer is not aware of this, they won't be able to understand. And that is the reason why this stringent law is happening. And I'm very happy that these laws are happening, and lot many training programs are conducted, awareness programs are conducted, and even this is helping food industry to be very alert and attentive. Thank you, sir.
Prevention of or controlling entities, the labeling law will help in selection of the proper healthy food by the person who is suffering from NCD. And for the e-commerce also, this is very important, labeling. My question is that apart from, in spite of all these laws and enactment of the laws, we find the adulteration, say, due to two things. One, either the standard is not up to the mark, or the testing method is not up to the mark. Say, I'll give one glaring example is honey. Now, honey in India, the honey which has passed in test in India, in Germany, when it goes, it is found that it is not meeting the requirements. The reason is very simple, that somebody says the testing method is not proper. Somebody says that the standard is not proper. Now, this law, labeling law, how it will help to overcome this problem?
See, actually, labeling alone, I don't think cannot help industry to do all these things, because it starts from the scratch itself. Okay, in honey also veterinary drugs is found. So how the veterinary drugs has arrived? Okay, it has happened only because somebody has done at the farm level itself. Okay, so that honeycomb and other thing, just to increase the yield or just to maintain all these things, they may be using the veterinary drugs also. Apart from that, yes, to some extent, our analytical methods are so strong actually. Otherwise, I heard that even all the brands are failed at international level. I think there was only one brand which passed to some extent, not 100%. Otherwise, all brands, Indian brands, are failed because our methods are not so stringent. Maybe the competency of the people or competency of the machinery is also not so strong. And another thing, what I observed is settlement. Okay, so if you give money, then they will give the report in a proper manner. That also happens actually. I observed a lot many chili powders in India, which are actually passed in India, but they failed at state level, USA. And so many consignments, of crores of the consignment, they are just disposing of. So it is a combination actually. First thing is awareness, another is mindset, another is you should have a proper infrastructure also, and training plays important role. Because last 3-4 years I am into the training field, and I found training really plays important role. If you try to train people in a practical manner, not in a theoretical manner, in a practical manner, definitely these things will come down in a future.
Sir, connecting to this, may I come in?
Yeah.
Thank you. Basically, whatever as Mr. Johar said, that food fraud. As we know that the calcium, I'll just, from the consumer angles, I'll just ask, putting this question, because I'm not a food expert. I'm just representing it as a consumer. Okay. Is the calcium carbonate is permanent for artificial ripening of the fruits? Your answer will be no.
No.
Definitely, legislation is there, as you have already explained there. Right, it is not there. Whether coloring of the fruits or vegetable is permitted, again you will say no, because the rule is there, act is there. Whether coating of the fresh fruit, mainly apple, with the wax is permitted to give the sign and self life, you will say yes, it is permitted in the controlled way.
Yeah.
Right? We know the answer. You have made the act is there. But as a consumer, how you safeguard? There is the gap between your act is there and consumer is not aware about this. And how to remove, how to identify it. So how to bridge this gap?
See, actually, it's a good question. Actually, last I think before pandemic, now the government has made the training program mandatory for you can say catering establishment, or you can say midday meal people. Those ladies who are serving the food in a midday meal, or Anganwadis, you can say, if you know the word Anganwadi. And I have conducted so many training programs practically, how the adulteration in the ghee is detected, how the
Right.
adulteration in the milk is detected, even how the adulteration in the water is detected. And we used to carry a small kit with us, and we used to show them the experiment. Okay, how to find out, because there is a big difference between carbide ripened banana and a normal banana. So how to
Right.
identify it?
Right.
So I used to tell them, if the carbide ripened banana is there, then they will find any black blemishes on the banana. It is a bright yellow color. Okay, but if you see the banana which is naturally ripened, it has some black blemishes, and that is the best for health. So this is how we tried. I think I have conducted, I have trained more than 1,000 ASHA workers also, and even Anganwadi ladies also.
Great
And
job.
I tried my level best to at least train them so that they can go home, or they can train all their colleagues and friends and other things. And this thing is happening now, because earlier street food was not considered in a food safety, but now street food also comes under the food safety. And so many training programs are conducted for the street food vendors, where the food safety, adulteration, food fraud, uh, sky's the limit. Oh, I have seen so many permutation combinations, how they are doing and how they are serving people in India. But nowadays, slowly the awareness has grown up properly. Even before Diwali, I was in Jharkhand. Jharkhand is the most remote place, and I'm very happy that all the street food vendors, they know the law very well. How much color is added, how much flavor is added, what are the hygiene and cleaning condition, how the pest control, till that level at least they are knowing. And this is the success of the this FSSAI department. At least slowly India is coming out of this glitch actually.
In labeling, I would suggest that some specific remark or special remark may be added, which may be specific that product. Say, I'll give example in ghee. Ghee, there are two methods of manufacture. One is that they take the milk and centrifuge it and take out the ghee.
Yeah.
Another method is they make the curd and take out
Cream. It is from cream.
out of that one. So these, and both have got different prices.
Yeah.
The ghee which you take from the milk, direct milk, is cheaper. The ghee which you take from the curd is costlier. So some in labeling, if some indication is given, that may help.
No, actually in labeling, label says the source is important. Okay, so source of the ghee is milk only. So whether it is cow milk or buffalo milk, that's all. But they are not specified whether it is made from the cream or made from any traditional or method or curd, what you said. So it is not yet in the law. Just the source of the milk is most important. That's all. These are the various things actually which are developed by the industry people. They are far ahead the laws actually.
Law enforcing agency.
Yeah, law enforcing agency.
The last I would request that government to have a strong or efficient machinery for implementation of the law.
Right.
The reason is the law is good, but implementation, we have to see that it is implemented properly and the people do not take the liberty with the law.
Last 5 years, India has improved a lot, because I travel a lot all over India. And last 5 years, the result is very good. When I joined, my first job was in '94 actually. So that time, food inspector's qualification was BA, MA, BCom, even 12th also. So based on all the reservation and other things, a number of factors were there. But since 2015, now the food inspector's qualification is BTech food technology or biotechnology or chemistry or microbiology. So all the FSOs, food safety officers, now they are called. Earlier they're called food inspectors, now food safety officers. They are highly qualified. They are trained people. And nowadays, the food inspectors or food safety officers exam is not so easy. It is based on the JEE pattern. So you have to study all the law in thoroughly. You should understand the basic things. Then only they will get selected. And their vigilance has also increased, because although I joined the first company in 94. I saw the face of food safety inspector in 2001. So during that time, I was not aware of the food safety inspector is existing at all. But nowadays, every 6 months, at least food safety inspector, they are visiting the factory and they are implementing these law very stringently. Because 3 months back, I had one experience in Pondicherry. Actually, I went for one dairy audit and I told them we have not conducted FOSTEC training. FOSTEC training is a mandatory. So there is possibility that your license may get suspended. And the owner was a big shot political leader in that area. He said, sir, don't worry, I will manage. So I said, it's okay. And after 1 month, I received a call from him in the morning, early morning. He said, my license is suspended. Now what to do? What to do? So these things are happening now. So earlier it was very rare happening. Now these things are frequently happening and people are fined under Section 56. If you know the Food Safety Act, lot many things are there. 3-month jail is there, 1 lakh fine is there, 5 lakh fine is there, your license is suspended or permanently closed down also. So nowadays, yes, we are on a upgrade graph, and even food business operators are also aware of the consequences. If they miss something, then they will not be able to do the business again in the future. It's a positive side.
One point that in fruit juices, like AP or apple juice or mango juice, whether it is mandatory to write on the container of the fruit juice free from allergen?
If the protein is there, whether it is one of the ingredient or whether it is naturally present, if the protein is there, yes, you have to write, declare the allergen.
In apple juice or this one mango juice, we cannot say that protein is present.
No, ingredients. If you add something from outside, okay, for the formulation, because juices also there, people are adding so many things in the juices, and one of the ingredient is the protein. Then you have to declare.
Actually, I was associated with one factory where we are manufacturing the apple juice and mango juice. The pulp which we are getting, we used to take the certificate from the pulp manufacturer that it is free from allergen.
No, but have you analyzed or have you confirmed at your end? Because in India, for juices it is not mandatory, but if you go to our other countries, they have clearly mentioned even apple or mango, they are called as allergens. But in India is not up to the mark. What the law says, if there is any external ingredient which is a protein nature which is added in the food, then you have to write on a label as a contains allergen. Yeah.
Sir, regarding the labeling, one more question comes to my mind.
Yeah.
Basically, your international numbering system, INS, for food additives, is in the most of the labels you find this for acidity regulator, for example, INS 260, or preservative INS 211.
Yeah.
No doubt these things are prescribed there in the limits. They might have prescribed the limit in that. But the question is that as a parent of a young child or as a mother of a young child, when I serve the food, say like the juices, Johar Saab said the juices. So I don't know, or ketchup, for example, the ketchup. Each boy or our young children, they love ketchup, right? So they use the ketchup. Now, how much I have to serve my child, how I'll come to know? Because you are free. Baba, हमने तो लिख दिया आपने उसमें, आपको इतना ही use करना है. लेकिन ऐसा कहाँ mention किया? Where you have mentioned that I cannot beyond this limit, I cannot consume this, because these all these additives have the reverse, means what you call that counter effects.
Okay, actually, as per law, they have to mention on a label because there are some limits: 50 ppm, 100 ppm, 100 ppm, 200 ppm, etc. Up to that level, these are considered as safe. If the person adds more than that, then the food safety hampers actually. And yes, your question is quite valid, because as a customer, it is difficult for us to understand how much sodium benzoate is added in a ketchup, for example. Although the addition is 250 ppm, but whether they are really added to 50 ppm or 500 ppm, as a customer, we don't know. So what I will suggest is go for a branded one. because there are so many people who are manufacturing at home and they doesn't know the law and regulations, and they just add with the spoon. Because I will tell you one example. A few years back, I got a call from Pune itself, and that person wanted to make a chocolate. And he said, "Ki, sir, please, can you make a chocolate?" I said, "Okay, I can make." Then he said, "I want a chocolate which is of 50 paisa cost, not more than 50 paisa, because I am selling it to the poor people." So I said, "Okay." I was just started thinking ki how the chocolate is made in 50 paisa. Then after 10 minutes, that person said me, "Sir, can I suggest you?" Okay. So I said, "Okay, suggest me." So he said, "Can we replace few ingredients with the bone powder?" With the bone powder. He suggested me, "You will replace 10% with the bone powder so that our costing will come in a proper way, and I will also earn money and you will also earn money." I said, "Thank you very much." That time my son was only 5-year-old, and immediately my son came in front of me, and I found, okay, if my son consumes such type of product, what will happen to him? I said, "Thank you very much." And this thing actually we don't know as a customer. Really, we don't know. Because I read in, I think 1 or 2 years back in newspaper also, all these big shots who are making ketchup or sauces, tomato sauces, they are also not adding tomato percentage as per the mark. But 55 or 45% is required, and they are adding it less and replacing with the color, natural color. So these things are there, and it is difficult for customer to identify how much quantity is added. We just believe on a brand. We just believe on a brand. That's all.
Sir,
So
my
that-
next question goes to nowadays we talk about the organic foods.
Yeah.
We talk very much, and now especially after the pandemic, this craze has gone up. What is the status of the FFS Organic Food Regulation 2017, especially the organic cultivation practices in India? Can you just either of you can just highlight on that?
Whatever I know, I will give the answer. Actually, making organic food is most difficult in India, because our the composition of the soil. If you see the composition of soil in India, it is full of pesticides, full of chemicals, fertilizers.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And it takes, as far as my knowledge is concerned, it takes around 5 years to convert that chemical soil into a natural soil. So till that time, you cannot claim it as an organic food. After 5 years also, there are so many laboratory tests are available. Then only you can say it is a organic food. Otherwise, so many people, they just start cultivating and they claim it is organic food. I always ask them, show me the organic certificate, show me the Jaivik Bharat logo. Then they don't know anything, because they just claim. Because so many jaggery nowadays, it's a big thing in Maharashtra. Everyone comes and says it is organic jaggery, jaggery. How it is possible? It is not possible. So yes, if you start in a proper manner, scientific manner, first 5 years is a dry period. After that, you start getting the organic food, which is a correct, proper organic food.
Yes, Mr. Jawar, would you like to add something on this?
What you said, but I would put this way, that if a person start not stop using the pesticide, chemical pesticide, then chemical manures, then at least the good beginning has been made. And what product we are getting before that, it is comparatively much better than now with the non-use of or no use of the chemical pesticides. Number one. Number two, if you remember, it's a few years before, there was a charge against this cola manufacturer, Pepsi Cola and Coca-Cola, that their juices are this one is having the pesticide residue, and they blame in turn the water content. They said the water in the soil is having the pesticide residue because of the use of these pesticides and manures. Now, at least, though we may not be near to the standard, but use of this organic, what we call it,
methodology,
organic crops, organic fruits, at least good beginning, and let us encourage them.
Right.
Yeah, that is
Agree.
a good point actually. But what I'm saying, they immediately start charging
Right.
as per the organic food. That is
Right.
the
They
wrong
cannot,
thing. Yeah.
they cannot proclaim it is
Yeah.
organic.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're charging double.
Yes.
They are charging 1.5
Right,
times to
right.
up to 2 times.
Yes.
When the
So
product is not up to the mark.
yes.
Yeah.
So that history has to be there.
Yeah.
He has waited for the 5 years.
Yeah.
And during this 5 years, he has not used any chemical fertilizer and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Right. And then the frequent test reports should be there to support that.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Sir, somewhat India has started the Eat Right movement on July 18 to fight the lifestyle diseases. The purpose was very noble. But somehow this drive has not got the desired result. Why it is so?
Actually, last 1.5 years, I am also iterate auditor, and I am getting more inquiries as compared to the consultancy and training activities. So I won't say it is not getting desired results. Definitely compared to the 2019, 2020, and 2021, the movement is upright movement. And last, I think in December, I completed 40-50 audits in Mumbai, which are sponsored by the state FDA. So that is also a good initiative taken by the state FDA and free of cost. So they have selected 50 organizations from Mumbai, and they told me to go and audit them, which is a free of cost. So this movement is also started now, and all the 50 organizations, they got the certificate. Now they are motivated. Now they said, "Ki, sir, okay, next time definitely we'll continue this." In fact, small catering establishments, I cannot take the name at this platform, but I will tell you, the small catering establishments also have gone for the Eat Right movement, and that is the big plus of this movement. I know it will take time because length and breadth of the India is very huge. It is as good as 3 countries together or 4 countries together. But definitely the upward trend is there, and people are aware and they know the importance, and even customer knows the importance. Okay, so star rating plays important role for the customer also, and government has made the stringent norms. Less than 4-star, the follow-up audit is required. You cannot display. So you should have minimum 4 stars out of the 5-star. So at least the safe food is served to the people, and there are a few mandatory points like pest control is mandatory, water testing is mandatory. Now radioactivity is also mandatory for water testing. Okay, apart from that, health checkup is mandatory. And one more so thing is RUCO, that is reused cooking oil. So so many laws and regulations are made for the reused cooking oil also. So after 2 cycles, that oil has to be thrown away. You thrown in the sense you cannot throw in the nature, but there are few agencies, they will buy this biodiesel also is there, soap factories also there. So these 5 points are mandatory. Unless and until you cannot employ these 5 points, you cannot go for Eat Right movement. And that is the best practice which is actually given by the FSSAI to all these eat joints or restaurants or dhabas, and that is a good thing actually. I found it very good actually.
Similarly, sir, even World Health Organization drafted what policy strategy for food safety 2022-2030, where they have highlighted the 4 points: forward-looking, evidence-based, and people-centered and cost-effective. These are the 4 characteristics they are looking for. They are drafting, coming with the policy where they can have the global policy or a strategy for the food safety and all that. So member countries have demanded it. So what future you are looking for this? It will be good initiative or it will work out? Yes, Mr. George. Jawar sir?
No, it is a good initiative, and it will help. But how much it will help, it will depend on the country and the state of the people.
Right.
See, WHO makes the guidelines. It is accepted by all the world. That is true. But whether individual country is ready to accept, ready to implement, that is the big question mark. But India definitely, yes, again, I'm telling it is on upward trend. This will definitely help people, and now people are also aware. Okay, I found so many people, they at least knows the names of the organism, at least E. coli. They know what is E. coli, what is the
Right.
source of E. coli, what is the impact of E. coli on the body. So at least that awareness has created. Okay, so earlier in 90s there was open defecation. Now at least 90% there is no open defecation. So definitely the quality of the water, quality of the soil, quality of the air, it has improved a lot compared to last 20 years. So yes, definitely this will help. It will take time. As I told you, length and breadth of the India, if you consider, it will take time. And not only the ministry, central ministry, but the state ministry also plays important role.
Right.
If they do it in a proper manner, implement in a proper manner, definitely it will be a great success.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mahamuni. We are running short of time. Quickly, I will just take one question from our viewers. He says that too much crowded advertising material is seen hiding the required label information. Any regulation is there for it?
So
Quick answer,
there is a advertising and claims law. See, I told you the three names:
right,
packaging and labeling law, labeling and display, and advertising and claims.
Right.
So if that person, whether he or she, they should go and
see
read.
that. Yeah.
They should go and read the advertising claims rules and regulation 2019. They will find all the things which are covered there, and they can satisfy themselves.
Yes, yes. So I think Mr. Srihari, you got your answer. Now quickly, I will take the question from the Mr. Govindra Joshi. He says, what is the normal shelf life of the white butter which is frozen and used for the production of ghee? There, sir, is it mandatory to label white butter?
No, it is not mandatory. I told you, the expiry date is not mandatory for a wine bottle. Okay,
Right.
so as per
Right.
law, but definitely the wine has the better shelf life because of the alcohol content, and alcohol acts as a preservative. Okay, and it is pasteurized also, so definitely it has a good shelf life. But as per law, wine doesn't have the shelf life.
Okay, with this, we end our question answer round. Thank you very much, Mr. Mahamani and Mr. Johar Saab. We will definitely, we will looking forward to next time with a more timing and such discussion also. Over to you, Gupta.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next session is on 12th February 2022 on topic Food Hygiene and Food Safety Series, Food Safety Management System Plan by Mr. Avdesh, sir. ICS is pleased to provide you all its research and development, integrated management system, QMS, EMS, and OHSAS, excellence in education management, ISO made easy in Gujarati, in Marathi, in Telugu, and in Hindi. For reading any of the above books, please contact Ms. Sushma Kandalkar. Please register on our website, and we request you to give your feedback on our website www.satpunsang.org. Thank you for being a part of Satpunsang on product information and consumer awareness. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.